Here are 20 Spanish idioms you can start using to sound like a native speaker. No nací ayer or no me chupo el dedo. This one means I wasn't born yesterday. And you'd use it in situations when someone is trying to trick you and you sarcastically say, hey, I wasn't born yesterday. I can see that you're trying to trick me. Let's say a friend tells you something and you don't believe them at all. You can say, no te creo en absoluto. No nací ayer. Or no me chupo el dedo, to tell your friend that, hey, you're not gonna trick me. The next one is meter la pata, and this one means to mess up. You could say, metí la pata al comprar este iPhone justo cuando salió el nuevo, to let someone know that you messed up because you just bought this expensive phone and then here comes a new one that you could have waited a little bit of time and gotten the new one instead. The next one is salirse con la suya, and this one means to get away with it, as in you've done something sneaky or bad and you got away with it unscathed. For example, Alex siempre se sale con la suya. Alex always gets away with it. Or, voy a hacer todo lo posible para que él no se salga con la suya. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that he doesn't get away with it. Then we have echarle leña al fuego, and this means to add fuel to the fire, as in to make a tense or bad situation even worse. So for example, no digas nada, solo le vas a echar leña al fuego. Don't say anything, you'll only add fuel to the flames. I like this next one a lot. It's tirar la casa por la ventana. This literally translates to throwing the house out the window, but it means to spare no expense. For example, mi amigo y su esposa tiraron la casa por la ventana a la hora de preparar su boda. My friend and I spared no expense when preparing their wedding. This next one's another good one. No hay mal que por bien no venga. The closest in English is every cloud has a silver lining, and it means that no matter how bad the situation, there's something positive that's going to come from it. So you could say, a pesar de que reprobé el examen, aprendí mucho estudiando. No hay mal que por bien no venga. This one I use a ton, and it's pan comido. Pan comido means piece of cake or easy in English, and you can use it like this. Después de tanto estudio, ese examen fue pan comido para mí. So you can use this phrase whenever something's a piece of cake, it's super easy, pan comido. This one's sick too. Un arma de doble filo. In English, you'd say a double-edged sword. For example, el amor es un arma de doble filo. Es hermoso, pero suele causar dolor. Love's a double-edged sword that's beautiful but often causes pain. This next one I guarantee you've heard before. It's echar un ojo. If you translate that literally, it's to throw an eye, but it means to look at something. You might say, ¿puedes echar un ojo a mi dibujo? Quiero ver si te gusta. This one is pretty famous. Ahogarse en un vaso de agua. The literal translation is to drown yourself in a glass of water, but it means to make a mountain out of a molehill. This one is funny because it's saying you can't drown yourself in a small glass of water. You need a ton of water for that. So similarly, it's saying that the situation isn't actually that bad. You're just taking it and trying to blow it up and make it seem like it's horrible. As an example, you could say, el secreto de una buena relación es la comunicación. No te ahogues en un vaso de agua. Mándale un mensaje. So basically, don't blow up this situation. It's not that bad. Just send them a message and fix it. Then is ver todo de color de rosa. And that means to see through rose-colored glasses or rose-tinted glasses. You might also hear people say that everything is peaches and cream or everything is peachy. It's basically describing when you're super optimistic and see the good in everything up to the point of seeing them as better than they actually are. Example, Amanda lo ve todo de color de rosa porque es optimista. Next is dar en el blanco. That literally translates to hit it in the white, but it means to hit the bullseye or to hit the target. You might say, Amanda disparó y dio en el blanco con el primer tiro, to say that Amanda hit the bullseye or hit the target. Then is ponerse rojo como un tomate. That one means to turn red as a beetroot or to be as red as a beetroot. So I might say, me sentí avergonzado y me puse rojo como un tomate. Or maybe I'm telling a story about how I became embarrassed when someone complimented me and I say, ella me echó un piropo y estaba como un tomate. Then we have pasarse de la raya, and this means to cross the line or to go way too far. So if you're not in the mood, you might say to your friend, hey, no te pases de la raya conmigo. No estoy para bromas hoy. That's like, hey man, today's not the day, don't mess with me, cut it out with the jokes, I'm not in the mood. You'll hear this one a lot in the context of work and projects, and it's matar dos pájaros de un tiro. That means to kill two birds with one stone. You could say, vamos a ponernos al día mientras que barremos el piso. Así matamos dos pájaros de un tiro. That would mean, hey, let's catch up while we sweep the floors. That way we kill two birds with one stone. If you're angry, you can use estar hasta las narices to say that you're fed up. have. So if someone is not behaving well, you might say, estoy hasta las narices de tu comportamiento, to let them know, hey, I'm fed up with your behavior, please stop. This one you'll use if you're buying anything, and it's costar un ojo de la cara. It translates to it costs an eye, but in English, it's cost an arm and a leg. For example, el nuevo iPhone cuesta un ojo de la cara. I also like this next one, and it's no tener ni pies ni cabeza. And that means to have no head or tail, or to have no rhyme or reason. So if someone says, tu discurso no tuvo ni pies ni cabeza, you're in trouble because it probably means it didn't make sense to them. This next one's negative. It's ser un melón, which means to be a blockhead or a knucklehead. Basically, you're saying that this person is not very smart. So if someone says, él no va a saber la respuesta, es un melón, they're saying, hey, he's not gonna know the answer. He's a knucklehead, he's a blockhead, or something like that. So a bit negative. The next idiom is importarle un pepino, and that one means couldn't care less. You need to use this with a pronoun. So for example, me importa un pepino que te guste o no, hay que ir a trabajar. And that would mean something like, I couldn't care less whether you like it or not, you have to go to work. These idioms are gonna help you sound more native, but you're gonna need people to practice and use them with. So watch this video next to see how you can practice Spanish in virtual reality. Hope this was useful, and hasta la próxima.